Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chris Gristle. Um, I tried to make a couple videos the other night. Both my phones, I've gone through three phones in the last 10 months, and um, they both, the two of them, they were all, the memories were full, and I tried to go live a couple times, and anyway, I'm gonna clean it up. And I haven't had YouTube Creator Studio on my phone. I just got it today, so that's why I haven't been responding to comments. And in fact, I was drowning for a while. I got out of California, and I mean they've still been on me, but it hasn't been as bad. Um, it's It's been tolerable. It's been tolerable. After 4 years, you learn to deal, and you learn tricks. You learn to cope. Basically, I mean, I haven't been making videos because they left me alone for a while, and then it's kind of still going on. But I don't know. I've just something's been itching at me, and I've been wanting to make one because there's a couple things I've noticed. Like, um, I had my I had my old cell phone, my laptop, and my iPad shut off and wrapped in aluminum foil for like a month, and I just opened everything up, took everything out within like probably the last week. Excuse me. Um, I do the throat clearing thing because I'm nervous. It's been a while since I've made a video, but um, and the weird noises too. But anyway, I've been having like really weird dreams where it's been like persuasive kind of interrogation. Nothing like torturous or anything like that. It's just like, where do you live? What's your name? You know what I mean? Just I got a weird sensation while I was having the dream. I woke up the next morning. I noticed my my laptop and my cell phone were laying right next to me, and it's excuse me. The It seems like the closer your mobile devices are to you, the more you get hit. Like, say you have your laptop over here, you have your cell phone over there, and it's your smart TV right in front of you. It's like I've noticed you get hit worse, and it's especially if your phone, like the top of your phone, like old cell phones, for people who are a little younger, they used to have antennas that shot out the top. You know what I mean? And I noticed anytime your phone's pointed directly toward you while it's laying down charging or whatever, I get the ear ringing a lot worse that way. And another thing I noticed is lights, especially the blue spectrum, like these. You guys know these lights right here, these halogen, these blue spectrum lights. Like, there's something about, I know you get that that like subsonic, concussive, high pitched whistle sound that kind of it's, and then you get the ear ringing with it. It's like you just got hit by something. It's, I don't know, if you everybody's protocol is different. Everybody's goes through different things, but for those who know what I'm talking about, it's, I notice I get more of that when the lights are on. And like, in respects to these blue spectrum halogens or these LEDs or whatever, they trick your brain into thinking it's daytime or whatever. Just a side note, but the incandescence, and you get kind of, I don't know, with the LEDs or the halogens, whatever, they both put off the same kind of light, I believe. But I don't know, it just has a way of sucking energy out of you. I don't know how to put it any other way, but like incandescent lights, I don't know, not so much. I don't get that high pitched whistle and the ear ringing quite as much with those, but generally, to a degree, I do. Like anytime lights are on, I get that, and it's you get the obvious. It'll dim, and then it'll flicker, and then it'll brighten back up real quick. And it's I notice though what follows is usually that sensation. And I've been swearing a lot less. I've been doing a lot better. Um, I mean, my buddy, a few states over from California, he said he was going through the same exact thing I was. His started back in 2010, I think. Mine started in 2013, and I hung out with him once in 2013. He got out of California in 2013, and I got in touch with him about a month ago, a little over a month ago. He said I could come stay with him and his folks. So, it's been a lot better. They've still been on me, but I mean I've been doing yoga every day for the little over a month now, and I feel so much better. I mean, it sounds kind of lame or like gay or whatever, but don't knock it till you try it. I mean, if you're a TI and you're getting hit, you know, I don't think green tea it's a start. It's one hell of a start drinking green tea because it helps to neutralize a lot of those effects. Like I said, it raises your dopamine levels, but I don't know, yoga just takes your stress levels way down, and I don't know, it's an entire body workout. I don't know, I don't think I'll ever stop doing it. I've, my buddy, him and his parents they've started to get me to go to church, and we've been going for about a month now, but, I guess I'm gonna get baptized sometime here in the near future, but I got mixed feelings about it. But I don't know. I haven't been drinking that much. Once every 2 weeks. I got drunk like 3 nights ago off of some IPA or something. It's pretty strong, and I decided to go for a walk in the park. Me and my buddy and his folks, they live right next to a park. You can't. I'm in a storm shelter. That's a bedroom, but I went for a walk, and I noticed that the house, the house the house at the end, or fuck, I don't know, this camera angle is tricky. I don't know, just the house at the far end of the other side of the park. I noticed as I rounded the corner, a bunch of cars started firing up. And for some reason, I just took out my camera and turned it on and started approaching the cars, you know what I mean? Not obviously, not like, with the camera held out, just kind of like walking, like, minded my own business. And like two of them sped off and fucking, so I'm like, okay, cool. So I held my camera out, I fucking zoomed in. I knew it was going to be a shitty picture, but the psychological effect has an impact too. And it's just, after I pulled the phone out and made it obvious, it was like two more cars. There was one more car that sped off, and then there was a big truck that fired up, and then I started walking back toward our house. Started walking back toward the house, and then I noticed, just for shits and gigs, I pulled my phone out again and started approaching the truck, and this thing just sped right off. So it's like, yeah, it's still going on, but I mean, you really have to just stop caring. It's like, and it's simple, but it's not easy, and you really have to live your life as though it's not happening. I know it fucking sucks to say, and if you'll excuse me, I think a lot of us TIs have used profanity at one point or another, but I mean, there's a few other things I've noticed, like, I can't really think of it right now. I haven't been wearing my headphones or my shades out as much. If I do, I'll wear one or the other, and it's because shades they look weird when you walk into a store. But it depends on your mood. You know what I mean? How you're feeling. Like if your reserves are tapped, fucking put your headphones on and put your shades on and go into the store. You gotta do what you gotta do, but I notice you get comfortable doing one thing and then they tweak the strategy. Like for me, I noticed that I would always have my headphones in and I have YouTube Red, and for some reason, I don't know, like it's certain songs that I listen to on my account. It's like they've somehow like been able to like record, like ghost record and incorporate it into the song. Um one example, one song is Alice in Chains' Nutshell. And then the other song is 21 Pilots Heathens. I'm not gonna go through it right now, but it's something I've noticed. I've listened to it like on CDs in other forms of media, not involving my YouTube account. It's those little samples, those little sound bites aren't there, so it's it's like I don't like to wear my headphones as much, just because I don't know. There's this. I don't know. On a side note, there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Rene Bastarche. It's Rene space Bastarche. He's like this hypnosis kind of a guy, or some kind of I don't know what his thing is, but he talks about like energy vampires and things like that, and how if you're focused on this all the time, if you're tuned into the same radio station, that same frequency, and you're hearing V2K, for example, you're only gonna, if you're tuned into that shit, like, oh God, fucking, hear that, I know they're there, here we go again. It's a new day, but it's same shit. He, he has a couple videos about how how you can basically change the station. If you like, one thing that I had talked about in the past is that you need to stop interacting with them, and at the same time, your energy, it depends on what your reserves are. You know what I mean? Like some days your energy level is up, you're in a positive state, and you don't hear it for most of the day, but then you hear it, and then it's like, oh my God, there it is, I just forgot about it. And then you start hearing it more and more because you're focusing on it, and it takes work. I think, I don't know. The there's there's a couple other things that I've noticed that I can't really remember right now. Fuck, it's tough. I was watching Soulless Dead's video, one of his most recent ones, and he was talking about how like there is an element of witchcraft involved, and witchcraft is it's like the doorway to gang stalking and electronic harassment, and there's definitely a spiritual element involved. I mean, just like a radio, is vulnerable to interference. You're they say that the human mind operates on the same wavelengths as Wi-Fi frequencies and whatnot, and I mean, there's always a doorway open for this if you let it in. I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's the best way I can say it right now. The more you focus on it, the more you're gonna notice it, like the V2K and I honestly I'm to the point where you can follow me around, fucking, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like you think you're punking me, fucking by following me, trying to mean mug me or whatever. It's like, okay, that's your thing, dude. You're a fucking loser and you need to get a real job. Like, I don't even care about this anymore. Like, if the one thing that bugs me the most is the V2K, and if that would stop, everything would be fine. It's like these people to me are fucking pathetic now. It's I When this all started for me 4 years ago, I thought these people were like Secret Service, like Marines, like ex-military, and maybe some of them are, but they're training idiots. They're training idiots to do this, and it's another thing I've noticed. I'm sorry, was for a while I was wearing my headphones, plug it into my phone, and I would drop it down into my shirt, and I was at this little arcade in Denver. Okay, I guess I said it. I'm in Colorado. Um, uh, anyway, I was at this arcade, and it's a coin op place. Anyway, there's this guy that came up to me. He wanted to make a bet on skee ball, and he had his headphones tucked in, and I'm like, these people, they use mimicry to try to deceive you into thinking, people that these these street level gang stalkers or whatever, you know what I mean? They oh, okay, never mind. They they'll try to mimic what you do. They'll try to mimic what you do. They'll try to, wear hats like you wear. They'll try to, if you wear shorts or whatever, they'll try to look like you. They'll try to do things like you to make you comfortable with them, especially in situations when they interact with you. Um, there's I don't want to. I'm not gonna advocate. I know I have in the past, but I'm not gonna advocate. Like befriending them or whatever. But you can be civil. The thing that these people want is for you to walk around with a chip on your shoulder, so that it's you get what you put out there. And if you walk around with a chip on your shoulder, and you're going through a harassment episode where these people, they walk in after you, they find the manager, and they're like, oh, hey, this guy's a pedophile, and fucking they do that kind of shit. It's I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. Like, they want you to walk around with a chip on your shoulder, so that negative energy and the stress and the fucking, excuse me, the anger that you're putting out there is going to come back to you. And anybody that they're, anybody in the audience that they're trying to persuade or coerce against you, they're going to be, that person that they're talking to, like the manager, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that. Like, "Oh, okay, I will keep an eye on him." You gotta be easy. You gotta, yeah, it's an atrocity that everything you're doing is being watched. All your emails, your phone calls are listened to, and you've got these neighborhood watch programs gone wrong, and that's what I prefer to call them. It's not gang stalking because it throws people off. I've gone through that before. Yada 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 yada. Ooh. But shit, what time is it? A little after 4. I gotta go pick my buddy up from work at 5. But I just haven't been in a good place to make a video lately. Like, I've cut all this hard stuff out. I fell off for a while when I got out of jail. I fell off, and I think it was fairly obvious. But I don't know. I find that the more, in terms of, in respect to what I was talking about, changing the radio station, it's, if you still, God, you know what? I don't know. I had something really good, and I lost my train of thought. There's so much I want to talk about right now. Oh, I don't know. I'll come back to that. Let me give me a second. Another thing I've noticed is when you take, it sounds counterintuitive, but when I got out of jail, I didn't have trouble in jail, maybe a little bit here and there, but I didn't. Point is, I didn't Q-tip my ears out like for even like a month after I got out of jail, and I noticed I didn't have any of the V2K, and recently it's hit and miss. It's like flossing. I don't always Q-tip my ears out, but for the last 2 weeks I've been doing it every day, and it's at first it was kind of bad. It needed to be done, but ever since I've been Q-tipping my ears out, I've noticed I've been vulnerable to the V2K. And one of the things that I don't know if you guys know William the Bastard. He was the Bastard Television. He has got a channel, and he was really a pretty bright guy. But oh my god, I always um um god damn it, I need to do these videos with another person. So it's like, what was I talking about? Um, I don't know. There's so much I want to talk about, but it's you know when I stopped making these videos. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. William the Bastard. He was saying that he had heard accounts of people saying that hemp oil, if you put that on a Q-tip, just a little tiny bit, and you swab the inside of your ears, you swab those little hairs on the cochlea or what I don't know, whatever. Um, if you get those hairs coated just a little bit, people have said that they're less vulnerable to V2K. And another thing I've noticed is when you move to a new area, um, they back off, they leave you alone. Like I've been able to go out, to restaurants, and gone to the bar a couple of times, but I really don't try to drink that much at all. But I've been able to go out and talk to women like I'm living a normal life again. Um, but it's after about like 3 weeks or about a month, it seems like they close in a little by little by little by little, and it's you got to keep in mind too. Like I'll hear like the same when I'm getting the electronic harassment. It's been a little over a month now since I've been here, so whoever like these I don't know. I had a theory that these gardeners like they scatter these piezoelectric devices or whatever, because I don't know, I noticed it's always Caltrans workers, gardeners. Like I'm always weary of them because it seems like they always like have a knack for harassing me. But uh, give me a second. Um, I've gotten to know. I go for walk. I take the dog for a walk every day, and it's I've gotten to know like what neighbors live where, like what age group they are. Just a couple, no kids, blah blah blah, and I hear the same voices like coming from like different directions. Like when I'm outside on the deck trying to have a cigarette, and I'm getting the what seems like on-site harassment when you think like, oh my god, like four neighbors are doing it to me. No, they're not, dude. Like it's for one thing, where I always hear it across the way, like out that window. There's an old couple that live there, old like late 50s, early 60s, and the guy, I always see the husband smoking on the porch when I take Anne for a walk, and I'll hear like three or four different like young people coming. It's like you just gotta tell yourself like, dude, fuck you guys. Like there's no way all this is for me right now. It's deception. It's deception, and oh my god, it's um I don't know. I think that a lot of this affects your hormonal levels. Like as a man, it affects your testosterone levels. As a woman, it's going to affect your estrogen levels and these kinds of things. And one thing I've been taking is alpha GPC. It's a form of choline that it, It's the best form of choline, and it kickstarts your body's own HGH supply naturally. And I've been incorporating that with yoga every day for a little over a month. And I don't know, I've lost at least 15 pounds. It's I I don't know. I'm just trying to give you guys tips because this is what works for me. Green tea, some yoga, preferably, I don't know, start with a minimum of 20 minutes a day. I've been thinking about doing Tai Chi too because frankly, it's anything. It's no impact and it's high intensity. It's like its own form of cardio and you will get pretty swole doing it. Um, sunlight's very important. Um, Drinking, like, when I drink now, I drink once and it messes me up for 2 days after. Like, I can't. I'm 33 and I get hangovers like I'm 45 or something. It's I don't know. I've just been able to take it easy. Oh God, what? Um, it's oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. It was something else that I'd noticed. It's like um like famous last words. No, um, it's one thing I've been doing is anytime I'm trying to get used to changing the station, like I was talking about. One thing that messes them up when if you're getting V2K, like, I don't know if I'm talking too much about V2K or whatever, but one thing that messes them up is whenever they start talking, I've started um, laughter. Like think of a movie where it just sounds like a rich, like a genuine, hearty, just a belly laugh, or think about your own kind of a belly laugh. It really messes them up. You'll hear them start to talk and then just I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. Anybody who goes through V2K, you're hearing voices essentially for the layperson. There's all kinds of public domain information that's available on the internet that you know people hearing voices nowadays is not just a symptom of schizophrenia. I think a lot of that is BS, and I think that essentially there are handheld devices that can make you hear voices, and at the same time, if 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 you're a TI and this is going on for you, you could swear it's like they're reading your mind in real time, and it's like as soon as you start to hear them rattle off, you just butt in with like just a gust of laughter, mental laughter. You know what I mean? Something from a movie. Or another thing I've been trying is I wish I had like a real audio sample, but in my head I try picturing like a something from like a real I don't even know the terms for it, but music wise, like house music, how it's got that electric sound, or like that that scrambly kind of electric that just like on a certain frequency, like how certain electronics or certain lights, like industrial lights, will make that 60 hertz. It's something kind of like that. It's like just a very disruptive kind of a. I'll try and find an audio sample to play for you guys to show you what I'm thinking about, because when I do that, it really screws them up. Like I could give you an example of the visuals that I think of. But I think of just lightning bolts, just in the shape of like a honeycomb, just a complete complete like a field, a spherical field around me, just while this sound is going off. It's like kind of in the way that binaural beats work. I guess I only know a little bit about them, but I don't know. I always bring up stuff that I don't know a lot about. Um, but I don't know. Just food for thought. Anyway, it's been about 30 minutes. This is a brand new phone, and it's a 32 gigs. So I think I don't know. I don't know how many gigs this will be. Seems like anytime I delete it from my phone, it still doesn't free up that space. So I don't know if anybody has any tips on how to do that with an iPhone. Delete a video as well as free up space on an iPhone. Um, Let me know. Anyway, I just got YouTube Creator Studio again on my phone. I've had YouTube Mobile for a while, but like I said, I've gone through 2-3 phones in the last 10 months, and the hard drive, the memory banks were full. So I tried going live. It said I had 6 new videos or whatever. That was the night I went for a walk and basically located where the neighborhood snitch was. Oh, dude. Oof. And I haven't had to do that very often either at all. Like, crack my neck. Got a little headache right now. But just, I don't know, like, I haven't wanted to lift weights in 2 years, and it's been hard for me to start working out again. And I've got to say that working out is one of the only things that literally and like physically and like spiritually just flushes that poison out. Like I said, yoga, it's a good way to build up your base strength, and you will get tone. You will get like pretty buff doing it. I don't know. Just try it. Try it for 10 minutes. Look up a yoga video on YouTube or whatever that's like 10 minutes long. Just try it. Try it for 20 minutes. Try it for 20 minutes. See how much you're sweating. See if you're not sore the next day. And it's a workout that you can just keep doing and doing. But at the same time, you have to eat. You have to eat, and you have to, you know what I mean, not eat McDonald's and stuff like that. And I was watching this documentary. It's called What the Health, and they're talking about how like sugar doesn't cause diabetes. It's all these meats and all this stuff, and I don't know. Anytime I dig for information on the internet, I look. You get the search results that come up. I look at least 5-6 down, because those top search results are paid search results by major companies. And if you're looking for objective, real, true information, you got to scroll down to one of those like Boondock websites that aren't paid search results, because all these companies on the top of the search results are all going to tell you, they're all just going to confuse you into eating the wrong things. And I'm not a nutritionist, but I started watching this video, this documentary, like, okay, I've been eating like cage-free eggs, I've been eating grass-fed beef, all these kinds of things, and it's like, oh really, still, like, beef is going to cause cancer? But it's like, well, is chicken better? Well, yeah, they used to say it was better, but they're finding out that it's just as bad. It has just about as much cholesterol and carcinogens and PCBs and, I don't know, fish, you got to worry about PCBs and mercury and dioxins and all these kinds of things. And it's like with beef, it's like they don't talk about how, the beef that we're fed nowadays is all shit that's grown on a range, or shit that's it's all I'm sorry, not a range, but they're farmed. They're farmed, and they don't tell you what they give these cows. Like I've talked about the wax pellets it's manufactured mold that they roll up into a wax pellet, and they stick it in the cow's ear, and it makes them fat, because this mold has a way of fucking increasing their estrogen levels, and all these estrogenic compounds bioaccumulate in your average cow's meat, and it goes into us when we eat it. And I don't know, I've heard that grass-fed beef is a lot better for you, and I use grass-fed butter, grass-fed beef as much as I can, and they're starting to say I just noticed that it's like, wait, they're confusing the shit out of me. Like, why you're gonna say that, okay, fish is better for you, yeah, than chicken or beef, which are just as bad as each other, but fish, on the other hand, it's like, yeah, it's good for you, but you got to look out for like the PCBs, which they stopped using a long time ago. You don't, somehow they just won't go away. Dioxins, which I don't know. Dioxins, I haven't looked it up yet. I just watched this today. PCBs, dioxins, uh, and I don't know. I said it a minute ago. I repeat myself a lot, but the fish, you got to worry about mercury, and then you can have tuna in water, which has about as much cholesterol, less cholesterol than a glass of milk, or you could have salmon or tilapia, which has as much cholesterol and fat as red meat. But it's, I don't know. I know fish fat is a little different, but at the same time, like omega 3s, omega 3s from fish oil. I know there's something about, I guess there's a lot of omega 6 or omega 9s, which there's a lot more that goes on it takes a lot more in the process to break them down, and somehow it's not as good for you. Like krill oil, for example, it's a better form of omega 3. It absorbs a lot easier. It doesn't have to go through that process and get refined down. Essentially, I guess that's what it is. But okay, I guess enough with the nutrition lecture, but it's a lot of these documentaries, these companies, I don't know, they're gonna steer you into a form of sleep, I guess. Like, for example, there's a watch that makes you sleepy. Another thing I noticed was Bluetooth headphones. Stay the hell away from those things. I mean, you got Wi-Fi. If you're going your TI, you're going through V2K. You're hearing voices. You've done a little research. You know that the human mind operates on the same wavelength as Wi-Fi signals. And I think this is how they're reading your mind. I'm just gonna fucking say it because and not everybody knows. You can write me off as schizophrenic, and that's fine. You're probably not a TI. You're probably a disinformation person or whatever they're called. But the point is, is that I'm sorry, you guys. I'm having a hard time remembering what I'm trying to say. I'm thinking the Bluetooth headphones. So after with what I've just said and everything, you got Bluetooth, which basically, I don't know what wavelengths or frequencies it operates on, but it's got to be within a similar, close range. And you got this Bluetooth headphone with the Bluetooth device basically at the back of your neck. Well, what do TIs talk about with, perps with their cell phones pointed directly at you, the back of your head or your temporal lobes or wherever that is. It's just food for thought. I've noticed the Bluetooth headphones, I get a lot more, they pipe it in a lot easier through Bluetooth headphones. So I don't know. And as opposed to the brain mapping or whatever, maybe Bluetooth has a hand in that. And with these Bluetooth headphones, which are junk anyway, you're basically wearing a vehicle for synthetic telepathy around your neck. Yeah, I guess that's the best way I could put it. And this has been a long video. I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of stuff I've noticed. Like, Um, uh, One thing, I guess this is a theory. I was driving in traffic the other day, and this red beat up car, you know what I'm talking about. You know what they drive. Was just following me, and it just seemed to go the same place I was going. And my ears started ringing really bad. And I had one of those Pure Leaf Lipton tea bottles, the cubic, the square ones, full of water. And I just started thinking, like, I don't know, like, fuck this guy. So I took the bottle, and I held it up. Oh, here we go. Look, okay, I took the bottle and kind of turned it diamond ways. It was full. I just kind of started holding it at the back of my head, kind of acting like I was, it's a hot day, whatever, you know what I mean? Not to look weird. And it stopped. It stopped. And I don't know, maybe the shape of the bottle had some kind of a prismatic emulating effect. And another thing I was wondering is these radio waves, these whatever spectrums that they're using, it's all adaptogenic. Whatever kind of solution you come up with, they're gonna find ways to make it worse, and then you're thinking, well, god damn it, what I'm doing isn't working anymore. And it's like, I don't want to. How am I gonna not get along without my headphones or whatever? But you gotta change up what you're doing, because they're always gonna find a way to get at you. And I really hate to obsess on it, because I've gotten to a point where it's like, you want to follow me around, dude? You're not punking anybody. You're a little bitch, all right? And it doesn't bother me anymore. Like I said, it's the V2K, and it's basically the fact that somebody is up inside your fucking head, dude. I'm sorry. You guys, I'm really trying to swear less. Yeah, I guess I could keep going on, but I'm really gonna try to quit smoking cigarettes. Oh, never mind. I'll bring that up later. I don't know if I want to talk about that right now. But you guys, I love you guys. I know that it's not easy, but you guys, you gotta be easy. You gotta stay strong. You gotta force yourself to. You gotta find a way to stay positive, to keep your energy levels up. Because when you're in that state, you're not thinking about it. You're not hearing it. You're not noticing it. It's not bothering you. You're doing a lot better. It takes work though. Honestly, I was drowning for a while, but about, was it 10 months ago, 11 months ago, when I first started my channel, you guys, YouTube saved my life. I mean, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I cannot believe the amount of support that I've gotten from you guys since I started making these videos. And I've, at the same, on this flip side of the coin, I had to stop making videos because it was becoming a full-time job. It was becoming a full-time job. It was all I did. It was all I thought about. And I just like religion and politics, I try not to talk too much about, but in the way of selling out personally, morally, to get that promotion or whatever, I try not to promote those kinds of things. And I try to avoid religion. But I've been going to church, and I've been talking to the pastor a lot lately. I've been trying to get involved with volunteer work. And me and the pastor have a really good rapport. I really like the guy. He's really cool. He's really close to God. There's nothing about the guy that you can hate. But I'm just nervous. It's something I've never done before, and it's a pastor is more or less a pillar of his community. You know what I mean? If you can at least, get to know somebody like that in your community, say you move to a new place, you start going to church, and I don't know, you just, you try to, you try to develop a relationship with the pastor or somebody like him, somebody, or like, the emergency response workers, or they kind of wig me out, but somebody with a noble kind of somebody respected in their community, that's going to help you out. I mean, at the very least, introducing yourself, getting to know them a little bit, getting involved just a tiny bit. I mean, these people, they're always going to try to make you look like a rapist, a child molester, whatever. They'll try to make you look like whatever, dude. But if you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. I've noticed since I've started talking with the pastor a little bit, just about my history. He's I haven't. There's really nothing these people can do, because it's. I don't know. It's. I don't know how I want to expound on that, but I feel like I've made a good point. This has gone on for 45 minutes, 46 minutes. I guess I'll leave it at that. Soulless Dead, I love you, brother. I haven't been keeping up on most of your videos, but stay away from those prostitutes, man. Or at least wrap your tool, alright? Yeah, you guys, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I don't know if I'm gonna keep making new videos. I really hope I do. I hope things have been tolerable, and I hope they remain that way. So, yeah, anyway, you guys take it easy. Like I said, thanks for watching. Love you guys.